Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. So, yesterday I was in the Uber, and this guy started telling me about his 27-year-old daughter who's been with this guy for 3 years, and he's wondering if they're going to get married. They had taken a break and all this other stuff. But I'll get back to that in a little bit, you guys. What it got us talking about was what are the qualities and characteristics of a godly woman? Now, if you look over in the Bible, it tells you in Timothy and Corinthians very emphatically that the characteristics of a woman of the church, we are the church, you guys. So the basic characteristics of a woman who's alive should be that she is quiet and submissive. Now, a lot of men read those verses, like I say in Corinthians and Timothy, and they just kind of say, that's it, hush. But that's not what God means. Both of those verses go back and tell you that the quiet part is because Eve and how she bit the apple. And so quiet is not necessarily without speaking. I mean, it was a woman who announced the resurrection. Where would we be without that? And so quiet means at peace and free from disturbance. So one of my roles as a woman is to be peace. And so when they tell you that, lady, it's your responsibility to be your husband's peace, it's biblical. That's true. The other part of the submissive thing is not that I just do whatever it is that some man wants me to do. No, it's that I give to him. Yeah, when I have thoughts and plans and questions and all of this, I'm supposed to seek him first, the way that I seek God. That's submission. I'm not going out there on my own like Eve did. Ding, that's what this is about. We're not trying to do that again. I'm not going out there on my own, trying to find my own thing, do my own stuff, and have it my own way. Like literally, biblically, that's the exact opposite of a woman. The thing is, you guys, and this is where we got talking about the role of a woman inside of a relationship. The thing is, in order for me to be submissive, I would also have to be honored. I can't just keep giving up my plans, my time, my effort, my energy to someone who's not even empathetic and doesn't even hear or acknowledge them. I think it's to honor and obey is one of the vows that people genuinely say. And so there has to be some type of honoring and some type of respect. And this is where we go back to the Uber ride. Apparently, things had happened. And one of the things that the father mentioned was that she wanted to go to a wedding and wanted this guy to, that she'd been with for a while to accompany her. And he flat out was like, no, I'm not going. And then did something with his friends. And I said, what his daughter's not recognizing is that she's being submissive to him. She didn't have to do that. She could have went on her own. She could have found another guy friend. She could have done what she wanted to do. Right? In today's modern society, it tells you that's what she should be doing anyway. But she decided to submit her plans to this man, and he didn't even bother to acknowledge, let alone honor them. I told him that's not something that you learn after you say I do. That has to be there beforehand, just like he who findeth a wife finds a good thing. You have to find each other in those positions already ready to play that part. So back to the role of a woman. Because it is my place to be at peace and free from disturbance, what that does, again, is it makes me my husband's peace. And why do I have to be his peace? Because he's the one that goes out into the world. And this is where the Bible starts to play with the words that show you the way it should be structured. Like, I know, modern times are fighting so hard against us. But in the Bible, a man should be the one to go out and do the worldly things, get the job, be seen, do all that, the politic, and you have at it. You have at it. And I, as a woman, I'm the church. I'm the spiritual one. I know things. I make stuff. I bring forth life. In fact, I am the gatekeeper of this whole human being's existence. Nothing, nothing disruptive gets through me. And so that's the reason why it is so important that I, as a woman, get to remain at peace and in that position, because it's not my place to go out there and be a part of the disruption. It's my place to bring peace to it. So I already have to be there. My job as a woman is to minister, to love, to grow. And yes, you guys, that comes with jobs. There are plenty of women who minister while, being a cosmetologist and doing hair, minister while actually doing it on a stage, minister while raising children, minister. Another word for it is administrative. A lot of women are doing very administrative things and basing that around God in life. That's what we're supposed to do. But in actuality, we're not supposed to be the ones out there like politicking and dealing with all the world. We're really naturally built to be homesteaders, that are at peace with doing that and give over to a man that honors and obeys and encourages and loves and treats you the way that God would treat you. And if that's it, it'll be great. Anybody can stay in that. But the problem is we don't treat each other while we're asking for the God-based things. We don't necessarily treat each other the way God would want us to. While you may be asking for submission, when she gives you her plans, I want to go to a wedding, you don't even honor that. That's not very godlike. And after a while, that inability to honor what she's submitting to you is going to create disruption. And he or she becomes the source of disruption. You're going to feel, men, there are some of you out there right now who know exactly what I'm saying, who have had to deal with a disrupted woman. And this is what I was, and I'll shut up. I went back on Proverbs with him. I said, if you read over Proverbs, it's like a book of wisdom along with Ecclesiastes and the other one. It is filled with stay away from at its basis a disturbed woman. That is like the foundation of ruin, a disturbed woman. And once you kind of recognize that, men, you got to do your part. That whole how do men act, and maybe I'll look up that some of the characteristics for them for the next time that I have this conversation. But yeah, I think it definitely helped. I keep looking down there to make sure the little, maybe I should turn it that way. Yeah, that way. I'll turn it that way. That way I can just look at the screen. Ooh, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning how to look at me. You guys just captured me learning something. I'm doing my best to get better at this whole video and editing and actually making them and everything else like that. And one of my challenges was like I keep having to look down and see this little green light is on, but I realized if I just turn it to the screen, there it is. And so, I was talking to my niece, and I'll get back on subject and then in this video. But I was telling her about this the other day because I'm getting her started with her little hair thing, so she can make her money and make herself happy. My goodness, go out there and live your purpose. Um, but I was telling her about how you just kind of have to like get started, and then it'll figure itself out. And this is one of the end time ways where it figures itself out. Alicia, you don't have to keep looking down at the little green light. Just turn it to the screen. You can see the screen that's in front of you. So, yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, when it comes to that guy, what was happening with his daughter is that they've been together for like 3 years, and he's a really nice guy. And he's got all the credentials, but they just don't know. And that's what made me think about love. There's something about it, you guys. It's like a feeling. It's just like knowing, like God just whoop, boop, there you go. And uh, it'll make you cry. It's the weirdest thing. And then things just kind of change after that. So I can imagine a man knowing that kind of love, that instantaneous heart-based love, and not acting on it. I I couldn't imagine a man knowing that he could actively pursue this woman, getting that hit to the heart and not doing it. And so if he's not at that point, please recognize green light, it's a learning experience that they're going to be going through, and that's fine. Some people are brought into each other's lives to learn from one another earlier, like they're meant to learn before they get married and stuff. They don't come in as husband and wife, they grow into that. But it is very, very rare, and I think that that's what people don't recognize, is that it's rare to grow into it. It's more abundantly available if people would fix their minds to already being in it. Look at this, wants to be seen. Here he is, you guys. If you hadn't seen Paul today, there he is. uh, but I think that a lot of people, they have to get into the mindset that I'm going to be ready for that, just like you would get ready for a job, just like you prepare for a house. But that's not happening. We're all trying to do this very rare thing of growing into a relationship with each other, and it ain't working out very well. So I told him, in all likelihood, she probably just needs to discover her purpose and who she is, and she'll meet him when she's doing that. Have a blessed day, you guys.